I'm excited, and I am really excited, and I'm honored, and I'm delighted because আজকে আমাদের সঙ্গে যিনি রয়েছেন, the versatile, the genius, the star, the man who is definitely a legend in his own way because he is none other than Ayaan Ali Bangash. Thank you so very much, Ayaan, for agreeing to be a part of the Adda at the Wall. খুব খুশি হয়েছি. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Namaskar. Thank you so much for having me. And please, all those lovely adjectives you used, I think they go very well with my father. But for me, you can just call me a student of music. And that's pretty much who I am, even today.
This is absolutely brilliant because I think a student like you and a student in you will live forever because there is no end to learning that way, right?
There is no end. I think till the time we are walking this planet, the learning process never stops. When my father says even today he is learning, so imagine where that puts people like us. So
I'm very curious. I kind of feel that you understand Bengali and you speak Bangla, right?
আমি বুঝি, আমি একটু বলতে পারি, but I wouldn't like to murder this beautiful language by speaking it because my mother will kill me because she speaks beautiful Bengali. But আমি ছোটবেলা থেকে we've been going to Calcutta and Kolkata, and it's like an extension of our DNA, being in Kolkata and performing there, and there's so many family friends and all of that in Kolkata. So it's part of, who we are and part of my family's DNA. But again, I mean, like I said, I mean, cheshta kori, but I understand everything. But I wouldn't like to, go wrong with, grammar and all of that. But as Ram Kishan Dev ji said, joto mot toto pot.
Fabulous. I'm losing my words because I'm expect that you're so fluent. You're actually very fluent. Your Bangla
like I said,
my Hindi.
No, আমি চেষ্টা করি.
কি ভালো touch wood. And আমি জানি যে কলকাতাতে you have so many friends, you have so many concerts, you have everything that used to happen in the old normal. But
I think, the association, what happens, I think it's a part of, the family's journey. I mean, my grandfather, Ustad Hafiz Ali Khan Sahab, his visits to Kolkata were always, even still talked about. And then, my father's journey with Kolkata has been so special. My parents met in Kolkata.
Wow.
So they got married in Kolkata. So if not for Kolkata, I wouldn't be here speaking to you today. So, so a lot of, I think all that warmth and that ethos, I think comes in, to our kind of sensibilities also. And also right from my childhood, there's so many memories. I mean, associated with Bengal, not just with Kolkata, but we've been very blessed, both Aman Bhai and me. We've gone all over, from places like even Asansol to Bardhaman to Srirampur to Guria. All these places, one has been to, and people have given so much love and affection always. So it's really part of our DNA, Bengal and Kolkata. I say that with a lot of love and affection.
We remain honored and touched. And AJ, the new normal, which is not too normal actually, right now, where are you?
I don't know, honestly, because it took so long, I think, for everyone in this planet to process what really just happened. I mean, something like this happened 100 years ago when the Spanish flu happened. And now I was just reading up on what life was at that time. And it seems in 100 years, we as a human race couldn't do anything in spite of all the technical achievements and all of that. Even then, the way out was social distancing and wearing masks and all those things. And it's pretty much the same after 100 years. I think, like all industries, music industry also has been hit in a very big way. And some of the stories are rather sad, that have circulated, that we've heard about. A lot of artists, who are totally out of work today. especially, artists for whom it was not about just live events, but perhaps who were artists who would, be in recording sessions every day. And there was, like rhythm to their income, so to speak. I mean, those artists have really got affected in a very big way. Many have, in fact, in UK, I recently read an article, many artists in thousands have really switch professions at this point of time to something else, which is very sad because, but again, it's for survival. I mean, everyone has to do what they have to do. It's very easy to sit down and say uh, why or question things. But I mean, but even everyone, even we, all our concerts have got either postponed or called off.
Yes, yes,
Invariably,
yes.
so, and it's like any field. So I think it's just a time when, I mean, everyone is just doing a retrospect or an introspect on themselves as people, as human beings. Uh, where did we go wrong? And it's really like God's way of just saying that I'm here, and uh, the they say that how do you make God laugh is that you tell him your plans.
True.
So everyone, we all had our plans for 2020. So I'm sure God was laughing at that moment. That
Absolutely. I
those
think
are
all the New Year parties and the resolutions, somebody was having the last laugh out there.
right. Yeah, and I think it's something we as a race perhaps had to experience. I don't know why, but I feel bad for the younger age group, especially children who are 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. I mean, imagine for them to suddenly take to this new normal of online classes. I mean, both my sons, Zohan and Abir, they've had to adapt to this, and that's why it was so easy connecting with you on Zoom, because I've become a Zoom pro because of their classes. So the way they try to bunk is just mute their video and their audio. So, they're so versatile now. We were keeping them away from gizmos, but now, thanks to the gizmos, they're having, I mean, the education is, continuing at this point of time.
Right. So, ektu jante chahi, right now you're in Delhi?
Yeah, I'm in Delhi at the moment. And the only good thing that has happened out of this lockdown is that I've been able to spend a lot of time with both the children. I mean, I've
Right.
been able to teach them because earlier, everyone was in their pace. I would come and go. I would be away for very long intervals.
Sure.
But now, I've been able to sit with them every day and teach them because I had nothing else to do, honestly speaking. And they're
So
very
maybe
blessed. They're very blessed that, Abbas Saab's also in town. And,
true.
so he has also been spending a lot of time with them. And so is my mother. I think every child's first guru uh, is the mother. So, when Ma's played a big role in my life,
Right.
I always say that. And even Zohan Abir's mother, Nima, I mean, I think a lot. I think it was a lot of pressure for her, to because I would not be around for such long intervals. So
True.
now I think I have new respect for all mothers all around the world.
Oh, wonderful. When you talk about teaching, Ayan, is it about sarod or is it about education? Is it about porashona as in boy khata? What kind of teaching?
I think it's overall, I mean, which was pretty much the code even for me when I was growing up. I mean, my parents said that, bad marks are okay and don't be a great musician, but never disrespect your teacher. Never, we would not like to be called to school for bad behavior. They were okay being called to school for bad marks, but so the code of conduct was always given more attention than what content you had as
Fabulous.
while you're growing up. So even whatever little I know or whatever little Nima knows, we're trying to impart that to the children. That when a book falls, put it to your head. It's Ma Saraswati. Small things like that. I mean, these are things
Oh,
I grew up with, or Nima grew up with. So these are the small things I'd like to impart to them, and eventually what they want to do in life, ota ঠাকুরের হাতে আছে সব. So
Fabulous.
Beyond a point, we can only impart, but the sense of responsibility has to come from within, which was even in Aman Bhai and my case. I mean, my parents obviously, imparted their teachings or musical knowledge to both of us, but that you cannot, awaken someone's sense of responsibility. That ota bhitor theke, it has to come, if it comes, so
No, I'm
that's what it
sure it
is.
would. When the garden is so perfect, the fruits and the flowers will be as beautiful as the garden is. I'm
But
sure.
eventually, like I said, Shob, Thakurer hate ache. There's nothing we as human beings can do. We are mere puppets, really. So,
I'm really curious to know about Tomar Chotobala, and that is something I would really want to know. Like when you were a child, how was your growing up years in an average? Because you're born into a family, such a great family, which has got which is historical, which is legendary. So Chotobala, from the average child, how do you think that life was different for you?
I mean, the atmosphere at home, was there was music all around because much before Aman Bhai and I started playing, I mean, even today, I mean, Abbas Saab has so many students all around the world. So there was someone or the other playing in the music room all the time. So
Wow.
music was pretty much, it was not something outside the box. It was a way of life, you know. It was part of who we were. It was part of my everyday life. So before sarods came into our laps, we would start singing about Otta's vocal music, and then the sarod came to our hands. And as we grew older, the sarods kept growing also in size with us. And Aman Bhai obviously started before me because he's older to me. And then, before I knew it, I was already playing. I mean, I
Right.
was no Mozart, but I was playing. I was just making noise. And I love my parents
What
for
a perfect,
being
beautiful
so,
voice can
being
it be?
so. No, I love my parents for just putting up with me. For one, I was ugly. I mean, I
Did
was,
you
I
say?
was,
Did you say? Did
I
you
was,
say ugly?
I was not a cute child. I was not. So they were, I think parents always feel very proud of their children, and for them,
So,
their kids are everything.
according to you, is it that Aman was a cuter child?
As kids, well, we were, you see, always cute till you are 10. And then from maybe 12
And
to
then you're cute forever because I think that's how
no,
it
no,
is.
no. Then from 11 to 17, no one wants to see their pictures when they grow up, I think. I don't want to. But I was on stage also. So I think in terms of documentation, we have all that. No, but
Yeah.
on a more serious note, I think atmosphere was extremely musical. And it was also not just internal, also external. Like even I remember my parents, you see, the parents play a very important role. But obviously, for us, music was the greatest wealth we had or we have in our family. So my parents always walked an extra mile in order for us to realize what music is and what this field is, because it was not just about sitting on stage and playing. I remember that back in 1989, I think we were really young. I mean, I must have been what 8 or 9 years old. My parents actually flew us to Kolkata. We missed school, but they took us to attend Dover Lane Music Festival.
Oh,
And that time, Dover Lane Festival used to happen in Vivekanand Park, not in Nazrul Manch. And that uh, stays with me even today because I saw all those superstars one day after the other. My father was, of course, playing, but then there was Pandit Bhimsen Joshi one day, Ustad Bilal Khasa one day, Pandit Ravi Shankarji one day. So, when I look back to today, I just feel how blessed we were to just watch all these masters who pretty much shaped the foundations of what this fraternity is today to
true.
actually watch them, and concerts used to happen all night in Dovolin, as you know. So we were allowed to stay up as 8, 9 year olds just because it was the experience
True.
was something they wanted us to feel, and it had a very deep impact in my life. And when we were growing up, we would listen. I think my father as a guru and as a teacher never stopped us from listening to anyone. I feel very sad today to see some of the younger lot of musicians who are so, you know, opinionated with, you know, what is right, what is wrong, and I follow this school, I don't follow any other school. I don't know how that is normal, natural, or even organic. I mean, how can you, you know, okay, your school of music is great, but doesn't mean people around you are bad, you know?
Absolutely. I completely understand what you want to say. And in the meantime, as this is the live adda, যারা আমাদের দেখছেন আপনাদের যদি কোনো কথা থাকে প্রশ্ন থাকে to the one and only Ayaan Ali Bangash, I would request you all to send it. There are so many people who have sent hi, hello, and they're very, very honored that you're a part of the adda today. Rumna Bhattacharya, we are honored to listen to him. We are extremely happy.
Okay, I think I couldn't hear one of the questions you were saying where we lost
I was just trying to tell you that the question was that wherever you go, what is the first request that comes to you that Aman bhai ye thoda ho jaye, wo thoda ho jaye, because I'm finding so many requests are coming, you know,
I mean, it's all you know, love and affection of people. It's very, very difficult to know, but then all the farmaishes do come sometimes, you know. Some chits come to the green room before a concert during an intermission, and we try to obviously you know, kind of not disappoint any music lover. So you know, if we are able to you know, accommodate that rag or something, we definitely try our best to do it always.
Fabulous. Bhaskar Chatterjee has written a message. Good evening. I'm fortunate enough to hear Ustad Hafiz Ali Khan Sahib live. Then definitely Ustad Amjad Ali Khan Sahib and young Ustad Ayaan Ali Khan Sahib too. It should be mentioned here that even fortunate enough here, Ustad Amir Khan Sahib, he had a little difference with Ustad Hafiz Ali Khan Sahib. Anyways, congratulations, young torch bearer of the generation. We wish you all the best. May God bless you 100 successful years.
Thank you so much.
Bhaskar Chatterjee.
Thank you so much. And again, but I'll say, you know, this word torch bearer is a very, it's a very vast responsibility. I think we are all just bearers, literally. And the torch only, you know, that torch is something that it's more symbolic, I think, which your guru, you know, illuminates into your life with the training and with the musical journey. But beyond a point, we all pretty much become very humble custodians of what we know. And, you know, my father always says that you should never be the reason of humiliating your
yes.
Yeah, you should never be the reason of humiliating your teacher, you know. If you can't you know, give respect, don't disrespect your teacher or your guru.
Would be very curious to know, chotobelay ki boka thoka kha hoto?
Sorry?
As in boka, as in, you know, the dart.
Huh. Yeah, of course. Ma's from Assam. So I think all the beautiful ladies from that region are very strict mothers, I think. And yeah, so you know, we got I mean, but we got our share of you know, we had our moments, but I think I always got away because being the younger, I think the younger sibling can always get away with a lot. Aman bhai really had to go through a lot.
Had to go through a lot, huh?
Yeah.
And what about, you know, little fights with a brother when you were children, or does some kind of I think
that's very normal, and if that's not happening, then there's a problem in the relationship. Then, you know, so we had our share of you know, fist fights and all of that, and actually up till very late and very recent times that continued. Oh. So now it's become more verbal, and you know, I think earlier it was a little more physical as well.
Oh, okay. So I would be very curious to know that we know we kind of see the similarities of music and a lot of personality that kind of appears very similar between the two brothers. But
Right.
dissimilarity, what do you think is the stark difference between you both?
I think we are very different individuals. I mean, literally, if Amanda would walk now north, I would walk south. I mean,
Mhm.
we are very different people as human beings. I mean, obviously, I think the core and maybe the value system is the same.
Mhm.
But having said that, whatever kind of upbringing or conditioning you inculcate, eventually you make it your own. So,
True.
I think every human being eventually makes his or her own legacy out of what they have learned and what life teaches them. I mean, so the experience of life, experience of people, experience of your journey, all those things make you the person you are. And in fact, even shape you to be the musician, that you eventually become because your nature reflects onto your music.
True.
So that's why we listen to different kinds of music. I think even our approaches to situations and even to music would be different. But obviously, when we are playing together, when we're performing together, then the idea is to collectively make a beautiful bouquet of flowers, as opposed to shine out as a soloist, which is also very important. I mean, we both perform individually as well, but more concerts happen with us, together. But that's not something we planned. It just so happened.
Okay. A question about Jokon, you both were anchors at one point of time in an extremely popular musical show. And
Right.
and do y'all have any plans of making it back to the audiovisual, like with so many OTT platforms, with so many movies happening, so
Well,
much of content around music?
you see, times were very different back then. It was so long ago. I mean, I was only 19 years old
Yes,
when I hosted Sarigama,
yes.
and it was a different world for Aman Bhai and me because I mean we grew up in an atmosphere and a certain. I mean, our world was different. Let's just put it that way. Like I was not someone who grew up listening to, say, film songs, for example, and not because, I mean, it's a beautiful world of film songs, but it was just not on my menu. Let's just put it that way. But Sarigama made me, listen to so much of, songs from that world. We got to interact with, all the great legends like O.P. Nayyar Sahab,
Right.
S. Janki ji, so many artists who belong to the Indian film industry, and then we had to speak in Shudh Hindi and all of that. So it was quite something. But you see, back then it was literally a talent show. The whole reality TV quotient was not part of it, which is part of life now. I mean, nothing nowadays happens without that whole reality quotient around it. So it was a long time ago. It was a great experience. We did what I think 3 seasons, and then after that it was difficult because our performing careers were also, by God's grace, it had
And is
taken a
there any
certain.
plan to kind of make it back to the audiovisual? Because এখন so much of content is happening around music and
Right,
there
right.
are,
I mean, I'm sure something interesting can happen. You can do a lot of things now, but the kind of offers that kept coming in over the period of time, there weren't things Amanda and I could really do,
okay,
because beyond a point, you have to know where you want to go.
true.
As important it is that you should know where you're coming from, and
ठीक.
it's even more important to know where you want to go. You know, so that I think we were very clear about. Even with our collaborations, I mean, there was a time when there were more requests coming in for more collaborative stuff. Lekin, that was a decision we had to take, that we uh, saw to it that we were leaning more towards our classical concerts
Right.
in numbers. And then that is okay. It's like a musical flirtation. It's also a part of who you are. But then we were very clear that we want to be known as Indian classical musicians.
Absolutely. So the fact what you said was so correct, that you need to know where you want to go. Age
Right.
where you want to go. I know right now planning is something like, okay, I know I'm planning, but I don't even know whether the plan will actually let me plan the plan.
Right.
But assuming that life will be back to where it was before the
Inshallah.
pandemic,
Yeah.
inshallah, yes, of
Yeah.
course. Touch wood, touch wood.
Yeah.
Assuming life will be fine, and smooth and running. Do you want to share any plans? Kono solo album, kono kaj, anything
Again,
you're really looking forward to?
recently we had, our recent collaboration with Sharon Isban, who's
Right.
one of the finest classical guitarists we have in the world today. So that album came out called Strings for Peace. There were so many concerts lined up through the year, right up till November. And it's a shame that all of that, I guess, has got rescheduled to later dates. But this album came out. I mean, luckily, thanks to all the platforms we have, you don't need physical CDs only now.
True.
I mean, you don't even need a physical CD anymore. So, thanks to all these, musical platforms like Spotify, iTunes, all of that. So the album did come out, and it's been received by God's grace very well. In fact, we played with Sharon in Kolkata as early as I think it was February last year.
I think the Strings of Peace.
It was called, in India we called it Peace Tribe. So that was with Sharon Isban, Amaan Bhai and me. But the moment Abbas Saab was into the project, the name kind of eventually the project was named Strings for Peace.
Right.
And it was interesting because, India knows the guitar more for rock and roll and for jazz. So I don't think there's a lot of awareness in India about the oceanic world of the classical guitar, which, and you had these great legends in the past, like Julian Dream, John Williams, all these people who, did magic in the classical world. And Sharon also today, I think she's the first guitarist to have a guitar concerto written. So that's why it took time for the score to be developed, because, it's all written down. So we have to come out of our comfort zone also to do things like that. But anyway, that album came out recently. There are one or two more interesting things in the pipeline, but there's no point talking about it till the time we are able to complete it. So for whoever's listening, please listen to Strings for Peace. It's an album made with a lot of love and care. And it's ironic that it comes out at a time like this, where I think music has been a very integral part of everyone's life, to give solace, to give peace, to give harmony within. And it's literally not this album, but music in general is just food for the soul.
Absolutely. Glad, music is the only friend till the end. That's what I would always believe in, that there are days and nights where all you hold on to is music. And I'm really curious to know about the merchandise, the Jugalbandi concept. I think that's amazing.
Thank you.
The range.
I was actually gonna wear one of the t-shirts today, but next time. Yeah. No, so that also, it's, it was just a wonderful kind of thing we thought we should really tap. And especially in times like this, I think, we were just wondering what we can do to kind of just project this beautiful art form, which, is so loved all over the planet. The art form called classical music. So initially, obviously, it was a little more sarod centric, the designs.
Let me just quickly have the honor of sharing.
Oh, yeah, there we are. Yes.
So these are actually kind of conceptualized by Ayaan and Amaan, and it's so beautiful. So y'all intend to continue this, right?
Yeah, I mean, the brand is called Black and Blue because those are two colors my brother and I wear very frequently. So initially it was just sarod. Now gradually the designs of classical music, and recently we even have I Love Tabla, or I Play the Tabla, which is out. So it's not just sarod centric. So we'll be also releasing more interesting designs in due course.
So this is something
since you're doing such a generous plug-in, so I'll request everyone to please go and.
No, this is something that I really found that it was so beautiful, that Black and Blue by Amaan and Ayaan. So who is the black and who is the blue?
I think we both like both the colors, really, on so many occasions. Ironically, I'm still wearing black today. So I think these are, we wear all colors, but these are two colors that I think we love wearing. So, and that it was, excuse me, an observation, I think, by the people who were doing creatives with us. And I'm glad with the way it shaped up, and I hope people enjoy wearing it much as we
Absolutely.
enjoyed, creating it.
Absolutely. So there are so many sides of you, and the singer in you is also somebody who lives within you and is very strong and sharp. আজকে আমি জানি that you're not hearing anything of Sarod because you're not sitting with you.
Right.
You have it in you, but it's not with you right now. But আজকে আমাদের আড্ডা শেষতে দুটো লাইন গান at least আমি অনুরোধ করব.
No, apni, I mean, you don't have to do Anurodh, but I'll try and do something before the closing.
Yes, that would be fabulous. And my next question is again 1 year of infinity. So would you like to say
Right.
a little about this? Itself is another very interesting chapter.
Right. So again, this was a collaboration, with the fabulous Karsh Kale. So with Karsh Bhai, I mean, obviously we did a lot of live performances. And then every time we said we must do something, we must do an album together. So eventually, it all took forever with all our travel schedules and everything. But we kept meeting every time we were touring in the US. And we eventually were able to give it a structure, give it shape. And, little did I know that, I mean, it's been a year, but a year ago, we didn't know what we were going to get into, but it's an album very special to me. And we've used sarod in the electronic space right from 2005. And following that, I say this with utmost humility that I think we've also inspired a lot of young sarod players who also taken to doing experimental work with the electronic genre. But sarod, because my father being a purist and his collaborations were more with the classical genre, sarod was never seen in this space earlier. And so, it's a different, every instrument has so many dimensions. So I think it's a different color and flavor of the instrument. And then we had also done an album called Mystic Dunes back in the day, which was more thematic. We had done an album called Truth, then an album associated with the fashion world, literally sarod for the ramp. It was called Passion. So, we've tried to kind of do different kind of things, but not with the thought of wanting to do something outside the box. Things just organically happened, and that's how I like projects to internally grow before addressing it.
Fabulous. Now, a little bit, we want to know you as a person. Apart from being the musician and being the Ayaan Ali Bangash, what are the other hobbies that you have which you like to kind of spend time with?
Well, I value all the times we spend with family, because the profession, we're in the road for very long durations. So every time, but I feel very blessed that most of our tours, especially the ones overseas, is collectively with Abba Sahab and Aman Bhai. So that way we three get a lot of time together. But then every time, we are with family, with Ma, with Nima or the kids, those are moments we really treasure. I really treasure. And apart from that, just the basics, I am someone who's sometimes misunderstood to be not arrogant, but people think I'm very reserved. But that's not really true, because I'm very comfortable with people I know. Maybe I take a longer period of time to open up. But I perhaps don't open up very easily. Maybe it's a Virgo trait. But then I can be perhaps misunderstood. But apart from, that's my nature. And apart from that, I think what I love reading. I love going and working out whenever I'm able to, because I think health, end of the day, is wealth also. And we spend hours in sitting in a certain posture. So general well-being, I think, also contributes to mental well-being. So I think that's very important. And apart from that, just the basic spending time with friends but work for me, I prioritize work on top of everything else, which is worship for me as well.
True. Completely, I understand. I remain extremely, thankful to Show House and Omar Haidar, through which, we met at a concert in like 2020 beginning, and life felt that so many of the same probably, that Strings and Strokes was such a beautiful amalgamation of
with the great Paresh Mehti ji, where he was painting to what we were playing. I mean, that was really a memorable
canvas was painted while you all played, and the entire Royal Opera House was like mesmerized in Mumbai.
Right. I remember we took to the concept of Navrasal, where we played 9 rags and 9 tals to show the 9 emotions of our mind.
Yes.
So it was that shaped up. I mean, I'm glad with the way. I'm glad you were able to inspire him. The worst is if you can't inspire the artist who's creating the painting. That's really.
He painted this beautiful Varanasi.
Yes, he made Varanasi.
It was like a 5 feet huge canvas by Paresh Mehti, and the rest is history. I think we're talking about an era that's long gone, it feels.
No, I think it'll be back soon, hopefully. Let's hope the work on the vaccine happens and hope things get back to normal very soon.
When do you think the normal will be like back to the old normal, or at least the new normal is going to let us feel more normalized and allow us to move out and you will feel comfortable? What is your...
I think things will organically kind of get back to normal. I don't think anything will happen overnight. But I think... the care people are taking in terms of social distancing and the whole mask usage and all of that, I think that will become a part of life for some time, perhaps. One way of looking at it, it's always more hygienic. My family used to always call me finicky because I would always travel with a hand sanitizer, because every time I would hold those trolleys in airports, I would always use hand sanitizer. And, so everyone used to tell me, you're mad, you've got OCD and all of that, but look what happened. So I think it's the way of looking at things. But obviously we have to, I think, live with the virus for some time. But we have to be careful. We have to, do what the doctors are telling us to do.
True.
And live life in the normal way, but with taking precautions. What more to say?
True. 5th of September was a very important day because it was a grand day.
It was Teachers' Day, yes.
It was Teachers' Day and the happy birthday.
Yeah, well, I was born that day, yes. Yes.
Glad you were born and the music is sounding more musical. How was the birthday 2020 for you?
Well, all birthdays just here for the family. It's all been lockdown birthdays. But the beautiful part has been it's been with family. I was so overwhelmed with all the outpour of love, affection, messages, on all the, on my phone and the social media handles, all of that. So you just feel extremely blessed and you want to celebrate that love and blessing that comes your way. Because
end of the day, what is the special khana that happens at your place when there is an occasion? What's your favorite?
It really depends, usually Ma's world is her Mughlai. I won't say Mughlai, but then her biryanis and that whole Rampur kitchen kind of a thing, whatever she learned from my mom, from my grandmother. I mean, but again, she doesn't follow any book. I mean, once she makes something that keeps changing every time.
That's mom's magic.
Yeah. And then, so dinner was here, and then the first half, Nima, created some amazing things at home. I mean, she had, her school is a little more continental. So so we got best of all worlds that day. So I can't complain. And there were lots of cakes and balloons, and the kids made cards. So it was really a day I always will value and remember.
So Abir and Zohan, do they have any other names?
You mean pet names?
Dark naam, pet names?
No, dark naam, no, not really. I mean, I call them Zohan and Abir only.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't really changed that. But yeah, it stays Zohan and Abir. Sometimes Zohan maybe becomes Zo, or Abir becomes... Abir stays Abir at the moment. So.
Okay, so do y'all have any other names?
Well, my pet name, I'm not very proud about it, but I mean, most people know actually who know me. My pet name, my mother for some reason started calling me Ayu, you know, which in Hindi also means age. Okay. So Ayu, from Ayaan, it became Ayu, I think. So a lot of people who know me call me that. But apart from that, yeah, it's pretty much it's Ayaan.
It's Ayaan. Okay. So we have another 10 minutes with us, and we will.
Right.
Any plans of getting into doing anything with acting, because you both are so good looking, and because I'm speaking to you.
You're really very kind. You really made my day.
And you know that.
No, you know, the thing is that with Amaan Bhai and me, like I said, when I was talking about a lot of offers coming our way, after we had done television, you know, a whole lot of offers had come our way. And once we even actually got involved quite intensely in a certain project, which eventually didn't go through. Unfortunately, midway, it kind of stopped. And we had put in a lot of energy and a lot of effort. And, you know, we were not even performing for a period of time in order to, you know, because whenever we take on a project, we try to give our best.
True.
So, but it was not meant to be. And I think there was a universal message that said, you've been sent to this planet to do something and do it to the best of your ability. So, but again, it's not something I'm against, because I think every artist has a persona and has an ability to kind of, when we are on stage, we actually, you know, every time we are on stage, it is a character. It is a different character every time on stage. So that's why it's kind of I think there is a link. There is a link, and a lot of actors, a lot of musicians have acted as well, be it theatre. I mean, MS Subbulakshmi for one. I mean, she acted in Meera, so you can't even say that you get diluted when you're doing films or anything. My father, he appeared as himself in Sparsh, where Nasiruddin Shah and Shabana Azmi go to listen to his concert. So again, if something interesting comes my way, I won't be opposed to it. But if it's something interesting, then why not? I mean, life's all about learning things and you know, and doing new things.
Okay. What do you do when you're super angry?
I don't react. I take it in. Okay. I don't think my family will agree, but I don't think I have a temper. Okay. I really need to be pushed to a point to maybe explode. But otherwise, I just take it in, but I don't forget. That's something my father says, forget. I maybe I'm no one to forgive anyone, because everyone comes with their journey and, you know, with their karma. But I usually don't forget, but not by choice. I just don't forget what to do. So
you forgive, but you don't forget.
Yeah, I forget and forgive also. Yeah, maybe I do. I let the universe take care of things. But sometimes, you know, if it's something that has really bothered me intensely, then it's difficult to forget certain things, isn't it? Absolutely. I mean, you can obviously be civil and nice, Absolutely. But somewhere down the line, the relationship changes, and which I think is normal. You know, I mean, over time, if it heals, that's different. But it's difficult to forget things that intensely kind of affect you in any way in life.
My last question is that, what are the kind of persons that you like to have as friends, the personality type, and people that you like to avoid?
So, you know, I feel very bad for my wife, that I don't know what she was thinking when she married me, but I think she knew what she was doing. But then thanks to her that, I perhaps have got more friends after I got married, because Nima has a lot of friends
Right.
in Mumbai, and I was very lucky to have met all of them, who are lovely people. And I have a lot of friends in Delhi as well. But my point is, my world, like I said, I've really been in my own world. And for me, I do have a few friends, and that's enough. I mean, I'm not someone who needs to, be in touch constantly, regularly, whatever. Of course, I'm in touch with some of my friends, but apart from that, I'm someone who's always been extremely into my zone, into my work, into my journey, and I'm very happy in that space. So,
how do you handle the crazy fan following that probably hounds you on internet or around your shows?
Honestly, it's all people's love and affection, but it's all because of maybe the music, because I think it's that craft that gives that connect with people, and it's end of the day, the greatest wealth you have is the love and blessing from people. And in my case, my only link to that is my music.
True.
So, without music, I'm nothing. So I feel very blessed, and I just know that for a musician, the journey is never ending. You have to just keep going, and if you are able to realize those 12 notes in one birth, which you can't, because they are such oceanic notes, so it's a never-ending process and a never-ending journey.
I think an inspirational message from you will make a lot of difference. কারণ আমি জানি অনেক মিউজিশিয়ান বন্ধু বান্ধবরা যারা লাইভ শোর উপরে ডিপেন্ডেন্ট, যাদের লাইফে এখন সত্যি they are feeling cloudy, they are low, and so many of them are taking to alternate professions.
Right. In these times, the only inspiration message, bhai, wear your mask, wash your hands, and please, just observe social distancing as well. That's all I can say in the times we are in. Apart from that, there's so many things to say that, just keep walking, and, just do what you have to do. And God's delays are not, not God's denials. I mean, there's so many things I can say. But right now, please wear your mask, wash your hands, and just take care of yourselves.
Right. Zinda rahe pehle. I think this year is about surviving and living, and the rest can happen.
Yeah, and also surviving, living, and just celebrating life.
Absolutely.
Celebrating a gift called life.
True.
I think that's extremely important. I think we, at some level, forgot so many things. And I think these last few months have made everyone slow down and rethink of this journey called life.
True.
And I think that's I hope that stays with us in the years to come.
Absolutely. Everybody, so many of your fans have requested, please, one song. You have such a great voice. We hope that you will sing at least something for us. I'm not taking all the names, but Ishita Boshak, Manjushri Ghosh, there are so many of them.
Right.
Request.
You've caught me ekdam off guard. I'm not really ready to sing anything, but
I think you are always ready, because you've been
I'll sing a tarana that Abba Sahab had taught us. It's in Rag Yaman, the beautiful evergreen Rag Yaman, and it's been a pleasure speaking to you. And I hope that technical issue in the middle was
as long as we reconnected, and I'm sure we are going to
sort it out. Yeah.
Yes. I'm so honored and grateful.
Deno eno reta ereno rena deta ode dana derena tana dim tano ode tana derena tana dim tano tananom 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 Tanum, da da tananum, ode dana de na tanadim tanum, tanadim tanadim tanana tanadim deno eno deno de da de re no de no de no.
If God had a voice, I'm sure I have a clue as to how it would be. So
No, please don't say that. But
there is a God in everybody, and when there is music, there is God, right?
I try and sing through the instrument, but this is just something because of your request. So, Bhisham bhalo laglo, and apni stay well.
আপনিও খুব ভালো থাকবেন, খুব ভালো থাকবেন এভাবেই সকলকে নিয়ে and সবার সঙ্গে stay as wonderful as you are as a human being, and I'm sure God's blessings and your parents' blessings and the love of your fans will make you shine forever.
Thank you so much, and dekha hobe, and Kolkata te dekha hobe. I hope we are there very soon. I hope we are there in time for the Nolen Gurer Sandesh. Yeah.
Absolutely. The Nolen Gurer Sandesh awaits, and everything sweet and lovely in the city awaits. Please do keep in touch. Thank you so very much for your time.
Namaskar. Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye.
Good night. Thank you.